So I got to be an assistant in the quarterback room for 2 years.
Hey, I thought it was all over.
Welcome, guys. This is the first part of the Who the Hell is Dave Canales series that I'm going to do. We're going to go back and see some of his old press conferences, see if his philosophy has changed, what has done well for him, what has not. This video is actually from December 21st of 2021. So this one's an old one. But let's jump into his mind. Let's hear what he's got to say. This was actually when he was with Seattle, by the way.
So you go and you have this dramatic change for the better. And then Coach Carroll comes to you and says, I want you to now coach our quarterbacks. And now you're going to coach Russel Wilson, who may be the most valuable player in the whole NFL, and you're now his coach.
What drove it was Russ. So I got to be an assistant in the quarterback room for 2 years. And we just shared a lot of the same values. And even then, while my lifestyle wasn't in the right place, our ideals were in the right place. So I had this kind of, I had a vision and a dream for who I wanted to become and where I wanted to go as a man, as a professional, all those things. And while his obviously is a different path, they're very similar. And then being able to be on the other side of it, coaching the receivers.
One thing I just want to shout out to him is obviously congratulations on becoming the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. I obviously hope we win 1 million games with you. Obviously, I've got my reservations, but hey, it's going to take time for anybody to change. But the one thing I've immediately noticed, we actually did a Dave Canales breakdown when he was obviously OC of the Bucs about 3 months ago, beginning of December. I'm sorry. And he was really interesting. Same sort of cadence, same sort of speaking style. But if you're going to go back and go look at that video, which I'll make sure to link, he's speaking so much slower in this one, at least. Obviously, he's gotten a little bit older. He's gotten a little bit more into the groove. But the way he talks now is much quicker, much more, just kind of rattling it off. Whereas this one seems like he's really sincerely taking the time to think about his words. I'm not saying that he says anything crazy, but just something I thought of.
And just pouring into them and really being committed to their development as a man. Russ saw that and was really just drawn to, I want to have more people like that around me. And to be honest, I've learned way more from him than he has from me. Okay, what I do is I just cross the T's and dot the I's and remind him, hey, this is all the information. So I just kind of funnel it for him. But just the lessons of playing that position, it's an incredible position, and he's so good.
And not only good at what he does on the field, but the whole package. Right?
Oh,
I would agree with that, and I hope this is these lessons that he learned from Russell and obviously what he learned in Tampa and through his tenure with Pete Carroll. I hope he brings all of that to Bryce Young. I think that the owner went a little crazy when we drafted Bryce, and now he's kind of doubling, tripling down, so he's bringing in the quarterback guy. So I'm really hoping that it fleshes out because, again, from the interviews we've done of him, the breakdowns, he seems like a great person. But Frank Reich was a great person too, and y'all hated him. So I really hope Dave can bring with him a DK Metcalf, since he has a history with him, Mike Evans, or somebody like that, because we really need a great wideout. And without it, it's going to be really tough for any team, regardless of coach. So
yeah, just a great teammate, totally committed football player. You want to talk about the type of people you want to build your team around. They're the ones who really care. The parts of Russell that can rub you the wrong way are because he's trying, not the other thing.
Absolutely.
He's got too many ideas, not zero. He wants to go for it. And so those are all the things that have been magical, and just his pursuit to get closer and closer to Jesus every day. We start every practice off.
I thought that was an interesting choice. Obviously, being a Carolina fan, I understand that Carolina has a ton of people that are Christians and everything like that. But again, I'm not saying either which way. I just think it's interesting. Not going to touch on it.
Stretch lines with a prayer and a reminder and just in gratitude and look what we get to do. look where the Lord has brought us. Look where He's brought you in your family life. Look at all these things. And so that's the guy that I think a lot of people don't get to see. Is just he just really does everything out of a place of deep gratitude, and it's infectious, really is.
Well, shout out to that. Beyond the Game with Tony and JB, man. I've just discovered them, to be honest. So if you want to go check them out, make sure you go subscribe to Beyond the Game with Tony and JB. Otherwise, my name is Nick. This has been Roll Coverage. Hopefully you enjoyed part 1 of Who the Hell is Dave Canales. I think it's going to be a really interesting decision. Hopefully you enjoy where we go with this. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure to drop them at the socials below and contact me directly, or you can comment on this video. Also, make sure to check us out on all the podcast platforms. We were finally able to get on all of them, so make sure you go subscribe over there. Otherwise, just have a great rest of the day, and thank you for rolling with us. Peace.